I've been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, and I think I worry about it way more than I'm supposed to, which obviously is not healthy. You see, I want to not be having the DID. That was a horrible way to say a sentence. Let me try that one again. You see, I don't like having DID. I don't want to have DID. I would prefer to be able to recover from it and achieve whatever kind of fusion could possibly be achieved between me and all of my alters. But I also know that I'm terrified of the silence. It scares me. I've had silence before. I've managed to scream the voices away for a little bit, and they left me alone just long enough for me to go crazy and develop a bunch of new ones. I don't want that again. It's not good for me, or them, or anyone really. Plus, that was back before anybody relied on me for anything, and I had the ability to just break down, but now I'm like, a part of community and stuff like that. So people rely on me and I can't just break down. So I have to be able to work through these things while actively continuing to live my regular adult life. The world continues to spin even when I am spinning out of control. I'm constantly stuck on the concept that I am not the alter that is best at doing things like cleaning the house, parenting the children, cooking. I'm not the best at doing my actual job that I do for a living. I'm not the best at it. Somebody else is. That's a very irksome thing to think about. I'm not a big fan of that. At this point, I don't know if I'll ever understand why I'm the one who gets the host position while all of the rest of them have to be alters that wait in the sidelines. I don't think that I am the best at anything, and yet here I am hosting, doing makeup, talking to the camera more often than any of the others. What's that about? I want rest. Belle has been fronting more often and been going through the entire house like she said she would, which has been a terrifying experience for the rest of us to watch her be a goddamn tornado tearing through the house. It's crazy. She has no emotional attachment to anything. She'll get rid of anything and everything. I mean, not to mention she's burning through our spoons at breakneck speed, which is not comfortable for anybody at all. None of us are overly happy with this, but it is difficult to argue with the results. She is getting the house to be much cleaner than it was before and far more functional, so Does anybody here have DID? You know how when you transition between like an alter and you and then an alter, eventually you get really tired and you need a nap? Is that just me? I'm pretty sure that's a normal thing for us. Anyway, my transitions are getting a little bit smoother and I can manage a few more of them before I need my naps. But also I am still sleeping all the time because I am transitioning way more than I was before. I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm not dissociating as much as I was before, but I am transitioning a lot more than I was before. Is that right? Does that make any sense? I'm always so nervous about making sense to you guys, but I also feel like half the time I am rambling without actually listening to what it is that I'm saying, which may or may not be hilarious content. It could just be rambly content for all I know. Our alter, Stella, has been adequately silenced, be that absorbed or otherwise. We no longer hear her screaming in the background all the time, which is a huge relief. And our alter, James, has been fairly well behaved in general, which is also a relief, because James is a bit of a emotionally unstable individual. But recently they have been more emotionally stable and managing their feelings. Except for yesterday. Yesterday was really rough, but we're just gonna ignore that. We don't need to think about yesterday. Actually, I changed my mind. We can think about yesterday. Yesterday was really, really bad for me, but my husband was a wonderful and supportive partner. It was really hard for me. I had to practice some of my therapy skills to open up and really be direct about my feelings and be open and honest about what it was that I was going through, even though I was scared of the results, and the results that I actually got were way better than I was expecting, and everything turned out okay in the end. Sometimes I think it might be a little bit easier for me to be open and honest in these videos than I am during actual conversations, because during these I'm just kind of rambling to myself. These are open train of thought type videos where I'm just saying what comes to mind without really stopping to filter it. But when I'm in a conversation, I'm going to be filtering things maybe a little bit too much. So I practiced being a little less filtered with my husband, and it went really great. A for effort there, husband. The less active and overwhelming stress I have, the less I dissociate and switch into alters without meaning to. I can mean to switch into an alter. I mean, sort of. It's not like an exact science or anything, but I can switch, kind of on purpose. Now, I don't have access to all of them. I can't just switch into any alter that I feel like, but I can switch openly into Kay, who is very willing, and I can also openly switch into James, who is very willing. I wish M was more willing, though. M was our business boss babe. She was the coolest. She could accomplish anything, but she's just not up to it. I don't know what it is, and the fact that I can't switch into her basically ever, it causes me a lot of pressure, because I have to try to keep up with what she was doing. She had set up this business for us, and now I have to try to maintain it for her while she's gone, and I'm just not as good at it as she is. I'm holding up, but she was thriving. I'm just surviving. That's an odd concept to try to walk myself through, but I guess this means that I am jealous of myself, and I don't know what to think about that. I'm envious of M, and I'm envious of K, and heck, I'm even envious of Belle. I might even be envious of James. I feel a lot of envy about what they are able to do, and I am not, but that is a really hard concept to try to swallow, since we are each other. We're all one unit. We're all one crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew. That's us. We're the crew and the ship. The body's the ship, I guess, and we're the crew that runs it, and I just wish I were better at running things, because for some reason I was elected captain. I didn't volunteer. I envy my crew, and I feel like I am running the ship into the ground, because they are not as active as they should be, considering that they are crew, and we're all here in this together. Do you guys remember that? Or am I too old for you guys now all of a sudden? I have no idea how old any of you are. It's a weird note to end on, but goodbye.